What's going on, all you gamers? Here we are, back once again in Outriders, and today I'm going to be going over why I think, and what I think, is going to be the strongest skill tree out of the three for the Devastator class. So if you want to know what I'm going to pick, and what kind of route I'm going to go for the Devastator, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back, all you guys and girls. As always, for all things Xbox, for all things gaming, want to hit that subscribe and bell icon. I'll be bringing you all the latest in gaming content and a lot more Outriders on the way. But for today, we're going over what I think, and what I'm very much hoping, will be the best path to choose for the Devastator. Now, the Devastator is an absolute beast of a class. It looks like it will be able to tank almost anything. So if we go right over to its class abilities just over here, as you can see, it's got the same as every other class in this. It's got three main trees that you can go down. The top one is the Vanquisher, the next one over is the Warden, and the one down the bottom is Seismic Shifter. You definitely won't trifle with this fella. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And if we go up here, you can see why. So the Devastator, close range tank, stand your ground. He has a melee skill that deals 129 damage and inflicts bleed to all enemies within a small radius. His healing mechanic is you will recover health from slain enemies that stood too close. So as you can see from that, he's all about being in that proper in your face range, right up close and personal. Every close range kill heals you by 24% of your maximum health, receives additional 15% maximum health, and increases your armor by 30%. Now that last one is a big factor in why I'm picking this build and why I've decided that this is definitely going to be the best one for myself. Now obviously take it with a pinch of salt because there's a bit of theory crafting going on, a bit of guesswork, but going through the skills as such, this definitely looks the best in my books. So out of the three, which have I picked? It's going to be the Warden. Now at first view, when you look at the Warden, I would honestly say it will definitely get overlooked. I can see people going a lot of Seismic Shifter and quite a few going Vanquisher. I think Warden is definitely going to be the way to go, and I think it is going to make this character just absolutely excel at his role. Now I think a few people will put a few points in him to get a little bit of tankiness up, and then they're going to shift off and go all the way up to Vanquisher or all the way down to Seismic Shifter. For myself, I am going to try and make it all the way along, and I'm going to go over why. So we've now got a little bit more info, and we know that we get 20 points to spend at max level of 30. I originally thought we were going to get one per kind of level, going from level 5 onwards, and would have 25, but it turns out we've actually got 20 in total. Not a bad thing, it just means we've got to tweak our builds a little bit more. Now, what I would start off would definitely be just make your way straight across the middle, heading towards that Warden path, and obviously you're going to start with Colossus just here, increase your health by 10%. Obviously, you're going for a tanky build, you're trying to help your team out a bit, you're trying to survive this endgame and the tougher content. This, as a tank, health is always a staple. From there onwards, you're going to go up and you're going to pick this. Increase your armor by 20%. You will want to take every single one of these shielded ones, and it will kind of become evident why right near the end. Another one you're going to want to pick up is as many of these as you can put into this build, anomaly in veins. Every second regenerate your health by 1%. It might not sound like much, it really may not, but honestly even 1% will help out with a tank's regen build. Just over here, and you're going to pick up Colossus. Increase your health by 10%. So again, you're kind of up in your health pool, you're up in your armor, you're trying to make yourself have a little bit of regen. You want to be the person that either picks up if people are dying, and you just kind of survive the battle. Just up here, you're going to go to one of the bigger nodes, and you're going to go to into the fray. Now obviously you will need a kinetic skill on, but I think you will definitely be picking one of the 3 kinetic skills in the bottom tree there. The last one's really good for pulling enemies, the other 2 are good as well, so you will probably have 1, maybe even 2 of the kinetic skills in this build anyway. And obviously that increases your damage mitigation by 15% for 10 seconds after your kinetic skill ends. So 15% damage mitigation is nothing to be sneezed at. That will play a vital role in your tanking game, end game, late game, don't want to die game. Just over here, and this node is actually quite helpful. So increase weapon damage by 10% for each unlocked Anomaly in Veins class node, and that's the Vim and Vigor. So we're going to go straight back down to here, and what we're going to do is we're going to jump down to this bit. After using a class melee skill, increase resistance piercing by 15% for each hit enemy for 10 seconds. So basically you're going to be doing more damage after you've done that little grand and pound, you've used your melee skill, and you're kind of putting that into a rotation as such. Now your melee skill, and if you're thinking it's melee you idiot, yes I know, for some reason I have always called it melee. I'm never going to be able to change that, but yeah, you're going to be putting that into a rotation. It's up almost every 2 seconds. In this game, clicking down your right analog is very helpful, especially for someone who can get into the fray fast, is proper in your face, tanky, can take the beats and dish out the beats. I think this will be a very, very staple move, and it will help you get that damage up by negating some of their resistances. Now from here you're gonna leave this top one and go down to here, Anomaly in Veins. Every second you regenerate your health by 1 second. Again, you've got that extra health regen, which is great. All tanks love a bit of extra health regen. And because you're on your second one by now, you've also got 20% extra damage that you got out of this one just up here, your Vim and Vigor. So you've got 20% extra damage to your weapons because you've picked these up along the way. From here you're going to get another health pool, so another Colossus, increase health by 10% again, and then you're going to bop up to this larger node, and this one is actually really good and vital in this build, and that one is Heirloom Armor. When an enemy dies in your close range, 20% of their armor will be transferred to you for 10 seconds. Now you may think it's only 20% and it might not actually be that worth it. 20% of their armor will be transferred to you for 10 seconds. As long as you're getting kills with your group and you're able to tank stuff, you will have additional armor almost constantly. And it also says when an enemy dies in close range. So if you imagine late game where you've got those elites and tougher enemies that have really high armor as such, I'm guessing this will be vital, and it will really help to keep you alive. It will also play into a part later on. And from there you're going to go down to this one as well, extend the distance considered to be close range by an additional 4 meters. So again, every time someone is dying within your close range that you've now extended by 4 meters, you will be getting that additional armor. And over here, increase your armor by 7% for each enemy in close range. So even if they're not dead, if you are considered close range to them, you're going to be getting 7% additional armor again. And if you look at this one just up here again, it says when an enemy dies in your close range. It's not you have to kill them. If your team kills them, if they die at any point, their armor transfers over. So after that, you're going to go just down here and you're going to go increase your armor by 20%. Now this one is up to you. If you want a little bit more damage about yourself, go up to here and get your health regen, and that will give you 10% extra damage on your weapons. I myself, because I'm going to go tanky with this, and like I said, there'll be a reason for that, I would pick this one. But obviously until we actually get to endgame content, we won't know exactly whether this would be the best choice, but I think it probably would play into being the best choice. Again, you've got more health pool just here by 10%. And then because you're playing a tank, because you're playing in a team, and because you never want to die as such, you're going to go down here. Increases all healing by 20% and shield by 20% for you and your allies. That right there is just a beast of a skill, and it's going to help everyone else out in your team. Now from here you're going to go up to here again, increase your health by 10%. Now if you wanted to, you can very much well go down here. If you were going to put these skills into your build, you may well want to put this on. I'm not sure if you'll be using these skills, but if you are using them, you may well want to put this on instead. From here you're going to have to go over to resist the mob, increase resistance by 15% for each enemy in close range. So again, you're going to have a lot of resistance. Your close range has been amplified. You're going to be getting lots of resistance, you're going to be getting lots and lots of armor, and you're going to want to bop straight over to here and increase your armor by 20% again. Now, I've missed off this one. I'm hoping you won't need it in this build because of how tanky you are, and that's kind of the chance to revive as such. So if you do die, you're going to get a free revive. I've left that off. If the endgame content is super difficult, you may need to put this into your build and take something else off. But for the moment, we're going to leave that off and go straight over to here. Gain additional 10% health for each enemy that has died at close range. Again, with all that we've put into this skill tree to amplify our close range, to make it so that they're considered close range at a further distance, this is just going to absolutely just blend it all together so well. And just over here, you're going to increase your armor by 20% again. Now, it's probably at this stage you're thinking to yourself, these trees down the bottom and these trees up the top look a whole lot tastier, because this is very... It seems a bit bland. You're going to stand there, you're going to be in amongst everything, you're going to get hit in the face, but what real damage can you actually put at? Because the only thing you've got so far is your 20% weapon damage from Vim and Vigor, or 30 if you went for the other anomaly in Veins. So you are tanky, you are able to survive, you're very team based, and I think this build will work absolutely amazing with a shotgun. But to top it off, this last node, Mighty Tank, this seems underwhelming until you start working it out. So increase firepower by 10% of your armor, increase anomaly power by 10% of your armor. Now, I don't 100% know yet. I am really hoping that that applies to not just your base armor, but your armor that you get once you add up all of this skill tree, including this one down here with the increase your armor by 7% for each enemy in close range, and this heirloom one up here when an enemy dies in your close range by 20%, because if that factors into it and it's not just the armor you're wearing, you will be an absolute beast. You'll get 10% additional firepower and anomaly power based on your armor. This one here could be game changing. It could make it so that even though you've spec'd pure tank, because you've got that little bit of extra damage up here, and because you've mucked around with these, and this one just up here, this last node could be game changing and could make it so that you absolutely decimate your foes, and you don't have to worry about the fact that you haven't got enough damage, because this has just changed the game. An absolute shotty, crazy beast of an in-your-face, hopefully never dying, getting your health back, regenning, helping everyone with shields, and just going about mowing people down. Obviously, if you wanted to use a little bit of your anomaly powers, you'd probably go down here, but I would say honestly, this to me, looking at it overall, I think this is kind of an absolutely beast mode build. Now obviously I may be wrong, and if I am, just go the path you like. But to me, that seems really, really strong. What I would recommend as well, if you can, from obviously the demo of what we've got at the moment and from testing it myself, grab yourself one of these. Now, the reason I'm saying to grab one of these is because this is a shotgun. It will work perfect with this build. It does a nice chunk of change of damage. And also, if you didn't want to put on Golem into your build, you may well be able to get away with 4 kind of skills for your Devastator, because obviously this shotgun gets a free Golem when you get a kill. So you may well be able to chuck a skill on and just not have Golem on this build, or you can have Golem on, and whenever it's down, when you get a kill, it will go straight back on, giving you almost 100% uptime with Golem. The Golem's limb should work absolutely perfect in this build, and I think it will be a really fun playstyle to play. Very teamworky, very strong, very damaging, in your face, and you're going to survive. Right, all you guys and girls, I'm sure I've taken enough of your time up, but I hope that's helped a few of you out. I hope it's something you think of. But as always, like I said, there is no wrong answer in this game. You build your character however you want. So let me know what you're thinking. If you're thinking of a completely different tree, then let me know in the comments. But as always, hope you've enjoyed. Take care. I'll see you on the next day.